planning rooms in 2 dimensions, remodel, making room design, or create floor plans of entire flats. I will show you today our 2D floor planner and what it can do. So we have in fact 3 use cases for this tool. The first use case is creating new build plans of new houses or of new flats. The second use case is remodel. Take an existing room and remodel it. And the third use case is creating floor plans of entire flats. So for the first use case, new build, you just need our 2-dimensional floor planner and you just plan. But for the second and the third use case, you need capturing of real existing rooms. So the best is to take a 360-degree camera, capture the room, import the measurement and remodel the room. And for the third use case, you just do it several times. So you capture room by room, measure it, import it into the floor planner and create an entire floor plan of the flat. So how this works, I will show you now in detail. Let's go. So I can start with a new plan by just drawing the walls. So I take the wall draw tool and then I start here, go over here, go over here, go over here and close the room, and I have created one big room. I can also start with a room by giving him the measurements, the dimensions of the room. Therefore, I just go to New and then I select the room format and then I type in the dimensions of the room. Maybe I have taken in advance with a laser or with some other measurement tool, and then I can create that room by the measurements I already have. I can also bring in dividing walls and of course divide a room. So we go over here to architecture and take a partition wall, and if I go from here to here, I'm asked if I want to really divide the rooms into 2, and I say yes, and therefore now we have 2 rooms. Of course I can give the room a name, for example the dining room or sleeping room, and so we know which room we have. And rooms are connected through doors. This is why I now add doors, of course, between the 2 rooms in the partition wall, but also a door to some new room which does not already exist now. So I place a door here, I can flip the door, I can turn around inward, outward, and I finally can add a room by pushing the button add a room. The room can be changed in its dimensions, so I can add more and more rooms. Of course, rooms have windows, so I just add again a window, and here we go with a window, and of course I can configure the window entirely how I want, and I can move the window how I want. In the same way, I can add radiators if it's needed. If in your country our radiators are common, then you just add a radiator and place it somewhere you want. You also can configure the radiator and tell the system where you want to place the radiator. A next big thing is measurements, because sometimes you want to measure the distance through 2 walls or some other part. You just press the button measurement and then you can take a measurement here in between. And of course it's also very helpful to add some attachment. For example, if you want to tell somebody what to do in the plan or what is there, and then you just add an attachment and you can create whatever attachment you want to tell the system, for example, what material should be there, and add a material, and then you can tell the system the material should be wood on the floor, a nice floor, for example. So now you have seen how our 2D floor planner works and what you can do with that. So we've planned a very new room not existing right now. But planning is also remodel. In the next section I will show you how to import an existing room. Therefore I took my 360-degree camera, went into a room, did a capturing, made a measuring of that room, and now we can import it into the floor planner and remodel it. Let's do that. I've been in a kitchen capturing the room with a 360-degree camera, and I will show you now how this looks like. So here you have the photo of the entire kitchen and you see the door, and I also made already measurements. So as you see here, we have the dimensions of that room. And now I will import that room into the floor planner. So first of all, you can see where the camera was placed. So the position of the camera and from where the measurement was done is in the plan. And now we can start putting things in. Most important, a fridge. So I'm going over here, insert an element. I can create a rectangle and give him the right dimensions, and then just insert and tell him what kind of object it is, and it is a fridge. So next one is to bring the kitchen in. So therefore I again do the same. I check a rectangle and give him the right dimensions. So here we go with our kitchen part 1. Now I need a measurement for the next part. I just measure the space which is in here, and it's just a measurement for checking, so I don't need it anymore. I can delete it again, and again I insert the next part of my kitchen. I can turn it around that it fits perfectly into the room and place it. But there is a radiator, and maybe I should place a hint for somebody that we need an opening there. So therefore I just go to the attachment and I choose an opening so they can now see, be careful here, you need some opening for the radiator. Maybe we want to put a PDF document into the plan, for example, a suggestion for the floor. Again, I choose attachment and then I choose the PDF document to insert into my room. Very nice kitchen, but we want to export it. I can export it as IFC, the BIM file, so I can import it into any other BIM compatible software, CAD software, but I also can export it as a PDF document and then put it to the printer and give it to anybody who wants to see my kitchen and my kitchen plan. After we've remodeled now one room, which was already existing and we imported, we will do that now for an entire flat. Therefore, I've took the 360-degree camera and placed it in every single room. I made capturings and afterwards room by room measurements, so now I have the dimensions of every single room. Now we will import all that rooms into one floor plan and connect all the rooms together, and then we will have one floor plan. Here we go. We're gonna start in the corridor. So here you see the entry door to the flat. You see two doors, again the corridor, more doors, and we stop again here at the entry door. The corridor is the room that connects all the other rooms, but it's also a very good navigation room because we as humans, we can understand a space, a flat very good in the corridor. My hint for you, if you take pictures in the corridor, open all the doors, they open into the room, and then you can see which room is connected through that door in the corridor. That is a very good hint. What we can use now. So here we have the corridor, and I made measurements. As you see, there are measurements of all the rooms, and now we can see the doors. And again, I went to the living room. I made capturings in the living room, and as you see, here is the picture of the living room, and also you can see the measurements I made here that represent the door and the window and everything. And also the children room, as you can see here, again, the windows and the measurement and so on. Room by room, I made the capturing the measurement, and now we have all the rooms and all the measurements. And now I just push the button import into the floor plan, and what I get is this, all the rooms which are not connected to each other. Of course, I can now edit the rooms, I can turn around them, I can move them, and now I have to stick together all the rooms so that it gets one big plan, one big floor plan of that flat. And here it is. Yes, you can see now the result. It is a plan. And again, what shall we do with that? We use it, we export it as a PDF file just by clicking, and it's generated within seconds. Again, we can also export it as IFC for BIM. But wait a minute, IFC BIM, isn't it always 3D? Right, it's always 3D, but this is a 2D planner, right? Exactly. What you get is an IFC file, and if you open that in any CAD program, you get a 3D model of that flat out of that 2D floor plan. Planning rooms, remodel rooms, creating floor plans of entire flats. Whatever you want to do with our 2D floor planner, it is the right choice for you, especially if you have to capture real existing rooms, because 360 degrees cameras are that easy, that fast, and that cost effective. If you want to use our technology, I'm looking forward to see you soon.